what are the defining moments or areas that really stand out for you?
The word that comes to my mind would be evolution.
One of the key sectors we are working in is energy.
We would see also the opportunity to have a look into urban planning.
Hello and welcome to this special edition of Fireside Chat at SDPI's Sustainability Investment Expo 2025. Today we bring a conversation that looks at how long-standing partnerships are shaping Pakistan's future towards sustainable development. Germany's cooperation with Pakistan spans more than 6 decades, rooted in trust and a shared vision and progress. At the heart of this cooperation are two institutions working together hand by hand, GIZ and KfW. I am delighted to be joined here by two distinguished guests, Ms. Maria Jose Pore, the Country Director for GIZ Pakistan, and Sebastian Jacobi, Country Director for KfW Pakistan. Thank you both for joining us. So let's start with the foundation. Germany uses a very distinctive cooperation model that we see. On the one side, we have GIZ that provides the technical assistance part, and on the other side, we have KfW, which provides the financial cooperation part. And we see that both these hands come together working towards a more enlightened cooperation model. So Maria, if I start with you, could you walk us through as to how this coordination works?
Perfect, thank you so much, and I'm very glad that you started with this question. Because for me the strength of the German development cooperation lies not only in what we do, but how we do it, and we do it together. So the way GIZ and KfW work side by side is very unique. It allows us to accompany transformation from the very first idea, so the policy, the capacity building, all the way to tangible infrastructure and lasting impact for the communities. So maybe think of it as a continuum. KfW enable investments that change system at scale, and GIZ work with people, institutions, and communities to make sure those systems are understood, owned, and sustained. So when those two come together, change become real in people's life. So on the ground, this means that we listen, we co-create with our partners, we build long-term capacities, so solutions will not depend on us and then can stand by their own. So what I believe is the combination is the reason why Pakistan and Germany have built such relationships of trust over decades, because change is not delivered. It's co-created with people who will carry it forward.
Thank you very much. Very well said. Change is co-created. So we see the GIZ part of it, but when we look at KfW, so how does KfW's financial approach reinforces this collaboration? And what makes this model unique among the development partners?
Yeah, thank you very much for this question. And I think for an outsider, it's really hard to understand the German system with the German Ministry for Economic Development, and then GIZ and KfW. So KfW, as financial corporation, we're providing funding. That could mean grants, concessional loans, but also equity. And we work, in fact, hand in hand with GIZ. And I would like to give a very simple example. When I look at our portfolio, so we have one project, the Renewable Tibet Hub. And what we do here is KfW is financing the construction and equipment of buildings, and GIZ is providing capacity input on the curriculum. So that's just a very simple way of explaining the difference between KfW and GIZ. Now, as I said, we are providing funding, and we're providing funding to Pakistani partners. So that's very important. So we are not in the driver's seat of projects. The Pakistani partner is doing the implementation. So we are monitoring the projects, and we are accompanying the Pakistani partner during the implementation of the project. So in this way, we like to work with partners that have strong ownership and commitment.
Thank you very much. That this model makes complete sense, where you transfer the ownership to the people on the ground as well, and that's definitely how progress works. So let's take a step back. We understand how GIZ and KfW complement each other and contribute towards the development objectives. But looking at the legacy of partnership from the start of this partnership, as I already mentioned, that German Development Cooperation has been active in Pakistan for more than 6 decades. So when we compare the beginning to where we stand now, so Maria, how would you describe this, that evolution? What are the defining moments or areas that really stand out for you?
Yes, thank you. So when I reflect on Germany's long-standing partnership with Pakistan, the word that comes to my mind would be evolution. An evolution built on trust, respect and shared purpose. And over more than 6 decades, as we're saying, this cooperation has never been static. It has grown as Pakistan is growing, adapted as reality changed, and always tried to stand by people in difficult moments, whether during new natural disasters or social challenges or economic uncertainties. For me, the defining moments are not only the big political milestones, but the human ones. So when communities are rebuilding after floods, when young people access opportunities they never thought possible, when institutions become stronger and more inclusive. What we focus in Pakistan are the focal areas given by BMZ, the German Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, and it's on renewable energy and energy efficiency and climate. It's on sustainable economic growth, vocational training, migration, but also focusing on social security. And this is where we, together with our partners and also other international actors, work in Pakistan.
Thank you very much. No, these definitely are very core areas for Pakistan's development. So if we shift our attention to KfW again, so how has KfW's role evolved over these 6 decades? And how is this partnership supporting Pakistan's long-term development objectives?
Now, our focus changes as do Pakistan's priorities and needs. So the very first project we financed in the beginning of the 1960s was a cement factory in Karachi. Now this has now evolved. We have different focal areas now, as Maria has mentioned. One of the key sectors we are working in is energy, because energy is a key sector and a key issue here in the country, as we all know. That's why we are focusing on transmission projects, on hydropower projects, and more on solar projects. Another key area here, and as we all know, Pakistan is highly affected by climate change, is working on climate change and climate adaptation. So we're financing projects in water, we're financing an afforestation project in KP, and we're also working on flood recovery and flood resilience together with UNDP. So this is one of the core areas because of the needs of the country: energy and climate change, climate adaptation. Another core area that Maria also mentioned is social protection. So here we are working closely together with the Benazir Income Support Program on adaptive social protection, so adaptive also to disasters. And we are working together with GIZ also in health insurance. So that's the second pillar of our cooperation. And the third pillar is economic development, which is also much needed here in the country. So here we are working on TVET, startups and microfinance. So quite comprehensive portfolio.
Thank you, Sebastian, for your comments, and I do see that the German Development Cooperation is not working in isolation, rather with various partners on the ground, multilateral and bilateral partners as well. And if we look at the whole conversation, at the end of the day, our aim is to look at the impact that is being created on the ground. Like, what exactly is this development cooperation contributing to when it comes to Pakistan? So it's an open question for both of you. What exactly is the impact that German Development Cooperation is creating here in Pakistan?
So I think the topic of impact has also been very important for Germany as well. So this is what we are of course focusing on it. That from our perspective we could let German taxpayers know why we are working in Pakistan. So we look at different topics. Again, in the topic of TVET and vocational training, having young people trained in different sectors, in textile sectors, in green skills, in energy efficiency, so they would be able to work either in different areas within Pakistan, or also maybe looking at skilled laborers and migration going to Germany. This would be an impact, but also making or empowering women to join employment and work that maybe they didn't think about it before. So a few weeks ago I met a young woman in the engineering sector, and very thankful for having the opportunity to get this kind of vocational training, because she said she would never have imagined before to work in this kind of areas. So this is the impact we see amongst many others.
I think same question goes for you, Sebastian.
Yeah, of course we could talk a lot about impact, but I would just like to give you 3 specific examples, 3 figures. First figure is 1.5 million. That's the number of women and children to whom we could provide or finance reproductive health services in the past years. The second figure is 12,000 megawatt. That's the power generation capacity that we contributed to the energy system here in the country. And the third figure is 800,000. That's the number of people that have access to safe drinking water in Balochistan because of our financing. So I'm very happy about the figures. At the same time, Pakistan is a huge country, so we cannot change the country, and it's not our job. On the Pakistani side, will and is developing the country, but we're happy that we can play a part in this journey.
No, thank you very much, and absolutely agree. The impact created might seem small, but when we look at aggregate with the entire development community working together in Pakistan, I'm sure that this is a very substantial impact, and this is exactly what Pakistan requires at the moment. Okay, so we now understand what sort of impact the German Development Corporation is having here in Pakistan. If we broaden the lens a bit, looking at the global landscape, we do understand that the global landscape is changing on day-to-day basis. Topics such as climate volatility, migration, energy insecurity are reshaping our priorities. Countries like Pakistan stand at a very unique position where they face a lot of diversity, at the same time have a lot of opportunities that they face as well. So Sebastian, from German government's perspective, where does Pakistan stand in this evolving global landscape? And why does it remain such a high priority for Germany?
Yeah. So, I mean, when it comes to crisis, I think Pakistan unfortunately ticks all the boxes, from climate to security, etc. And that's of course very unfortunate. So we as German Development Corporation, we would like to support Pakistan with these challenges. For once, because we would like to support them based on our values. We would like to help these people, but at the same time, it is in our interest. When it comes to climate change, this is a global issue, and we cannot work on it in silos. We have to address it together. That's what we are doing here. Now, but I not only want to talk about crisis, but also about opportunity, potential, as you have mentioned. So I believe Pakistan is full of opportunities and potential. And I remember, I mean, whenever I meet with the people that we are supporting through the startup project, so young, brilliant minds, they have very innovative ideas, and it's really fascinating to listen to them and to see what they're doing. And I think there's where the future is. The future is the youth, the young people, and I'm happy to support Pakistan here.
No, thank you very much. Definitely, Pakistan holds a lot of potential. It's just scratching the surface and finding what's underneath. So, Mariam, Germany's commitment to climate neutrality and a resilient system, we all know about that. But how do these priorities align with Pakistan's own development goals?
So looking at it, yes, as you were saying, and also Sebastian, the world is changing rapidly. We do see that those challenges are also interconnected. We see climate change, social inequalities, economic uncertainties, geopolitical issues, and they don't stop at borders. And Pakistan is in the front line of this reality. But so there are several things that would give me hope. That it's first of all, Pakistan is not facing those challenges alone. So we are also on board, and the German priority on climate neutrality, resilience, and just transition will remain, and they align with the Pakistan priorities. I mean, when Germany and Pakistan signed the Climate and Development Partnership in COP21 in Glasgow, it was reaffirming the global understanding of those challenges. What I would see is also talking about population and growth of Pakistan. We would see also the opportunity to have a look into urban planning, cities, to have a look at environmental issues, as we see now in, for example, in Lahore, but also in Islamabad when we talk about air pollution. So we do have a lot of possibilities and opportunities, and also in the upcoming government-to-government negotiations between Germany and Pakistan, we see that Pakistan is an important strategic partner for Germany, and this is where we would continue cooperation between Pakistan and Germany.
Definitely, both of you present a very valuable view of Pakistan's place in the world. So now we've explored basically the model along which the development cooperation works, the historical significance of the work that Germany has been doing in Pakistan, and the global pressures. Let's move one step ahead and look at the horizon. What's in there? What's in the future? Looking at the SDPI's expose topic, collaboration for climate smart future, we see it reflects a shift from aid to innovation or grants to shared value, and from public only to private mobilization. So, Sebastian, a question to you. What do you see as the next frontier in Pakistan-Germany cooperation, and particularly in unlocking private capital?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's not an easy question. So, I mean, when we talk about finance and climate finance in the end, I think there's, of course, the source of international development cooperation, what we've been doing traditionally, and it has a value and a need, but it's not enough. As we all know, when it comes to working on climate change, we need to mobilize more funding. So especially since the traditional donor funds are shrinking. Now, for us as the development partners, it means in our work we have to be more selective. We have to try to leverage funds, working more with other donors, other bilateral partners and multilateral partners. And well, in the end, we have to do more with less. But that's only part of the stories. So, besides the traditional development cooperation, every country needs to mobilize its own funding more. So we're talking about domestic funds that need to be mobilized also on the Pakistani side. And the third source, I would say, is mobilizing private capital. And that's easier said than done. Everybody talks about it, but it's not that easy. So we have, as KfW, we have a subsidiary called DEG. And this is the entity that provides funding for private investments in developing countries. And here in Pakistan, they're quite active, especially when it comes to wind projects. Now, what we as KfW also do is we try to leverage private investments through providing guarantees to banks so that they can extend loans to private sector companies, especially in the field of energy and climate. This is a project we are preparing, but I'm very much looking forward to the realization, the implementation of this project. So in the end, you need a combination of all these sources when it comes to climate funding.
Thank you very much. So if we look closer at GIZ and the work that it does, the technical assistance part, how do you ensure local ownership, skills and inclusion remains central as we transition towards a low carbon economy?
Oh, this is a very good question. So yes, I would like to also underline what Sebastian was saying regarding the funds, the shrinking funds. What I would see is that we use the money that we have efficiently and effectively. That we do cooperate even more also with other donors, other actors, local actors as well. We see that we to use what we have more efficiently. We do have studies, we do have rules and regulations and laws, and they need to be implemented. I think every institution had written, I don't know how many studies lying somewhere, so we need to go and implement, and of course also including the private sector. It has been a buzzword now for several months and years, and to see that also, although we are a technical cooperation, we do work with the private sector, so they would chip money in, and also GIZ on behalf of BMZ would be working in those areas. And when we talk about financing, it was in the last COP, the COP before, that the loss and damage fund has been established. So there is money, there's budget. We need to see how people can access those funds, and then can implement it in the region. So what I would say for Pakistan, and I wish for Pakistan to be a climate resilient and investment attractive hub also for the region, and I would like to see more ownership as well, and to see that if we don't work in this topic, it will be more expensive for everyone, and it will not only have an impact on poor people in Pakistan, but also on people in the, how do you say, Mittelschicht?
Middle class?
Middle class. So things will become more expensive. Thank you.
Thank you very much, both of you, for your comments and insight. Development cooperation, and especially German development cooperation, is a topic that we can go on and on exploring how in-depth it is because of how long it has been operational in Pakistan. But unfortunately, we need to cut the discussion at one point in time. So before we wrap up, I'd love to end with a bit of a personal touch to this entire conversation. You both have seen Pakistan's resilience firsthand. So when we talk about German development cooperation in Pakistan, what are the three words that come to your mind? So maybe Maria, you would want to start first.
I would think innovative, inclusive and future ready.
Excellent. Sebastian.
I need 4 words.
KfW.
Strong legacy, bright future.
Oh.
Very well said, very well said. So with this, we come to a conclusion to this segment. A very heartfelt thank you to both of you for being present here, sharing your thoughts and comments. And we hope that the German Development Cooperation continues its good work in Pakistan, as we know that Germany is a reliable and long-standing partner of Pakistan, and we hope that this partnership continues. I would also like to especially thank SDPI for providing us this platform where exchange of ideas could happen and we could explain and show how the German Development Cooperation works here in Pakistan. On behalf of Pakistan and German Energy and Climate Partnership, we thank you all for listening to us. Allah Hafiz.